Hello EFT players, my name is Redseven, welcome. In today's video, an analysis of the patch 0.10.5 coming from someone who decided to take the game slow this time and not rush through the levels as much as before. First, I want to talk about the concerning problem regarding unhappy and frustrated players. I had a chance to play this game for a while now and most of the time in a team. Lately, I am seeing that more and more of my friends decided to give the game a break and focus on other stuff. Either that or they become very frustrated and abandon the game very easily as soon as they find a bug or a game issue or a hurdle that they simply cannot ignore anymore. I have also seen something similar on the community forum and following questions raised in my mind. What is wrong with the game or with the players lately? Is this a bad sign on the long term? How should the devs react to this matter? And what is the reason behind seeing more and more people losing patience with the game so easily? This is important to know, and I hope that some of the devs will analyze this situation, because EFT is not a game that will be ready and finished in 3 more months. It will still take years to see this project fulfilled, and losing a good player base starting from now is not a good thing on the long run. I can totally understand the player who goes on Shoreline, for example, does his mission and kills some players on the way towards the extraction, grabs some good loot from the resort and ends up dead by the invisible scav or by some other bug, even by a hacker. By the way, there are a lot of hackers in the game already. I can understand his frustration and his desire to leave the game and come back when those issues will be once and for all resolved. I believe most of the frustration comes from a long time ago and increased over time. I know this because I felt it myself. Covering the news, I saw so many inaccurate patch notes and broken promises which stack up into our minds patch after patch, announcement after announcement. And I really don't want to go too much into detail because I have all that info on my hard drive. During the podcast, we see a Nikita who ignores serious issues and important questions by being ironic and passing the ball from a field to another, just to avoid talking about the engine limits, the bugs that are present since the beginning of the game, the very frustrating stutters, and so on. It seems that the podcasts are somehow scripted in such a way to only promote the good stuff, the ugly remaining somewhere on the back where no one sees it. Please do not understand me wrong, I have nothing against Clean, nothing against the podcast, but I have that feeling. Maybe it's just me. The bad part with this is that most of us are very easy to please as soon as we see a new weapon, some new gadgets and some other basic stuff like that. It's our fault in my opinion. We should simply say, that's it, I'ma stop playing EFT and only come back when the core issues have been fixed. As you have seen in other videos, it goes from bad to worse. It is in our power to say, stop, this is it, I'ma turn to something else now, let them fix the game first. Don't get me wrong, I love EFT, but not with this status, guys. As I said to the guys on my streams, I am afraid that the love relationship that I have currently with EFT will turn into something opposite because of broken promises, fake announcements and core issues that cannot be fixed. I mean, we still support the devs and we still play EFT, but how long is our patience going to last? How long until we see better network, better weapon and bullet behavior, less desync, less RAM consumption? Yes, the game is still very fun to play and very enjoyable when everything plays along, when the servers behave nicely, when the AIs are not invisible, when the desync is not present, but when the game goes south, then all that frustration and the hatred you see on the forum is at the end of the day understandable. And we do understand here that the game is still in development, but instead of seeing progress, we see regress. These issues need to be looked at and resolved once and for all, the sooner the better. Another patch with 2-3 shiny weapons will not reconciliate us anymore. I don't think so. Regarding the patch, there are several things I want to mention. The issue with hit detection. Hitting your target is not an easy job this patch due to zeroing, hit detection problems, desync and some other issues. I really hope they are going to somehow address this with a hotfix or so because it's really game breaking. What makes it worse is that the results you're getting are very inconsistent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You cannot rely on what your weapon does and on your skills anymore, and need to pray for a moment of luck when shooting at the target. On the other hand, the very positive thing that I've seen now after the wipe, with New Beginnings, is how powerful and game-changing shotguns and the sagas are. Again, when everything goes to plan. It could be due to us being used to Iron Mans maybe, but it's also possible that they'd increase their range and power a bit. I even watched a video about this. The new med animations are also a very nice addition. I could spend hours and hours inspecting or trying them out. Some of them are a bit repetitive or could have a different way of using, but the devs definitely did a very good job and achieved something great by creating them. The game is a bit slower now. Well, not necessarily slower, but more cerebral, or to use some simpler words for better understanding, it involves careful thinking and mental effort. The good thing is that you can move while in some of the animations, and the fact that you can cancel them by mouse clicking, for example. We cannot wait to see the same with the loading of mags. The flea market is also a very nice addition. I personally haven't tested it yet fully, only bought a 206 key from the market just to see how it works and some other rare stuff, and also sold some stuff on it. Simply because I want to make my in-game adventure a bit more interesting. If I buy everything, well, what will I do in the raid? That is my principle, but if you rush through the game and need urgent stuff, the flea market is definitely the way to go. It needs polishing still, as I said in my previous videos, and can be abused very easily, but it's there as a good alternative now. Another plus point, the MP7. Very cool PDW, you can find it on the map as well. The Bitcoin is not necessary, but you need some luck. It's a very cool addition, brings a breath of fresh air into the game. Personally, I haven't used it that much, but it looks cool, has a beautiful sound, and it's very practical. And on top of that, it's deadly. Another plus point on our list, the ability to follow your target after shooting the sniper rifle has been added. Something that we forget to use. Everyone was asking for this feature, now we have it. Too bad that we cannot use it properly due to the issues that I've mentioned before. Nevertheless, it's a cool addition, remember to use it, guys. Regarding missions, apart from the fact that you get more XP from doing missions, which encourages players to complete them, because they're a big boost on your level, there are very interesting new modes in missions. Unlockable, beginning with the 5th gunsmithing mission from mechanic. These missions are different and can be sometimes very challenging. I have not unlocked them yet because once again I am trying to not rush through the game this time, but cannot wait to start them. Some of them are very interesting and could be very fun to complete. Another feature that almost no one talks about is the naming of cases. It is practical and we will be using it a lot in the future when we will have more weapon crates and item cases with specific equipment. Even ammo cases. Some final thoughts. Now the wipe makes sense, right? It had to be done in order to test the flea market properly, and most of the players wanted one or were hoping for one. Starting from scratch and being able to have fun with a simple shotgun or headshotting an AK player with a Tarkov, it's possible again, for a short time. And the level the players have make such things possible right now. This wouldn't have been possible without a wipe, and there are so many weapons that cannot be used 3 months after a wipe because they make no sense anymore or they're simply useless. The game is totally playable right now when everything goes to plan, as said before. Grinding is an option if you like grinding, rushing through levels is also there. PvP, PvE, exploring, doing missions, spending time on the flea market, the game is alive again and it's fun. How long is this going to last? Well, it depends how fast and good the devs will move on with future content, with correcting some of the major issues the patch currently has, and with countering hackers. The other thing that I have noticed is that the game forces you to rush levels. I struggle to play slow this time, but sometimes it's simply impossible. You either get rushed from the players coming from the back, or you lose the chance to get that key you are searching for simply because there is someone else passing by and taking it just to sell it on the flea market. The game has changed a lot with this new feature. So sometimes I was forced to run naked to a certain area of the map and find myself that key or that item I needed. I decided not to buy the stuff from the flea market just because I wanted to have some goals on the map in the game. Anyways, the game could be very punishing or very rewarding. Nothing changed here. The only thing that changes in time, from what I see, is the attitude the players have to the game. If this goes like this, then a lot of people would focus their attention towards something else. We already see a lot of the big guys doing something else, or at least announcing changes. BSG needs to deliver solid changes, and this time not on paper on some patch notes. But for now, let's work our way up and test the new stuff, and keep in mind that this patch is an intermediate patch. The big one is 0.11. I am already looking forward for that one. New Scav boss, new maps, Scav raiders, HK416, Remington 700 and more. The SVD will probably not make it for 0.11, but there is enough content to be happy for. But most important, I am looking for core improvements, or at least for some official word from the devs on this matter, but this time with in-game facts. A podcast with some sweet lollipops is not enough anymore, not for me at least. I want to thank you for watching and for being there. Consider subbing if you haven't done it so far, and like the video if you found it useful. I will be streaming EFT as much as I can. Cannot have a solid schedule because of the full-time job and the family, so if you want to see me online, enable that notification option on Twitch and check the community tab here on YouTube from time to time if you want to see some different EFT gameplay than the one you almost always see out there. A special thank you to my patrons who month after month have supported me: Sugart, Caesar, Crazy Killer, Nico, Morg, John, Da Harms, Joel and Bam Bam. Thank you guys so much for patroning me. You guys take care and think on not playing too much. Real life is very important as well. Redseven out. Peace.